motivational fitness coaching for beginners.
Nothing changes if nothing changes. Therefore, if you want to see change, you got to implement it yourself. Today, I'll share with you step 4 of the 5 steps necessary to overcome crisis. Stay tuned until the end, where you'll get a chance to learn how to change your routine to supercharge your day. You're listening to Trying to Fit, a motivational fitness podcast meant to guide beginners to getting fit through the proper mindset, planning, and actions. My name is Vladimir, Coach Glad Simeon, and I'm a health fitness specialist with a philosophy to keep fitness practical so that it's easy to start and maintain. We're here to get inspired to get healthier, learn from the successful, and overcome whatever is keeping you from getting fit. Are you ready to put in work? Let's get started. Welcome to Trying to Fit. I'm your host, Coach Glad, and I wanted to thank you for tuning in. Today is episode 4, and we're in the middle of a series to help people to mentally and emotionally get through crisis. What we've learned so far is there are 5 steps to overcoming any crisis in your life. We've learned that step 1 is gratitude. And what gratitude does, it helps you to be thankful for all those things that you still have left. Step 2 was finding hope. And this gives you a future dream or desire to move towards right in the middle of your crisis. Step 3, we learned that you need support. And not just any support, but the right type of support. You need people that are going to build you up and not allow you to have those pity parties. If you have not gotten a chance to listen to those, you can listen to them on any of the major podcast platforms. But today we're going to be discussing the 4th step necessary to overcome crisis. Are you ready to get started?
It's time to get busy.
All right, warm-up time. Let's get started.
When you're in crisis, it's very easy for you to get stuck. There's so much going on emotionally and mentally. You can easily be overwhelmed. But hiding from your adversity is not the action you need to take if you plan on overcoming it. Adversity is a part of life. Can't hide from it. It is coming no matter what. But what you can do is prepare yourself to meet it. Thus, step 4 is changing your routine. Changing your routine in the middle of a crisis is the next necessary step for you to overcome the crisis. What are you doing in response to your crisis? How has your daily actions changed? Have you eaten unhealthy foods? Are you sleeping in more? Have you picked up a bad habit? What are you doing? Because a crisis has come into your life to announce change. But it's up to you if you change for the better or for the worse. Thought leader Mike Murdock once said, "The secret to your future is hidden in your daily routine." This means if you plan on getting to your hopes and your dreams, it all starts with what you do on a daily basis. You're not going to get through your adversity by luck. As a matter of fact, your challenge, your difficulty is waiting to punch you in the nose as soon as you wake up in the morning. And there are those people that get stuck in their crisis because they hold on to their nose, fall back into bed, and try to hide from the adversity. But those people that overcome, those are the ones that wake up with a mindset ready to swing first. And if you want to become one of those people, let me add some weight onto your squat bar. This is me as your trainer pushing you to go a little bit deeper so that you get stronger by getting some understanding on why I believe that changing your routine is necessary for you to overcome your crisis. For you to change your daily routine, it all starts with habits and positive habits. But for you to build positive habits, it all starts with your actions. Because habits are actions that you do over and over again for some type of reward. And you do it so many times that you can do it unconsciously, or you could do it without thinking. If you think about all the negative habits you picked up, it all started with one action. You did one action one time for whatever type of reward, And eventually you did it over and over and over again until you could do it unconsciously without even thinking about it. The same thing could be done for positive habits. If you do a positive habit over, or a positive action rather, over and over again, you will get a reward. The only difference is that the reward tends to be delayed, or delayed gratification, where it's not immediate. Think about how motivated people would be to lose weight if you lost weight immediately. But it doesn't work like that. Usually with positive habits, you usually have to do the positive habit over and over and over again, and for you to see some type of reward. But building positive habits is like constructing a building. You have to do it brick by brick, action by action, until you build that one floor or that one habit. And then you work on the next floor. And what tends to happen is that people try to build all their floors all at once, and they get overwhelmed. And if you're in the middle of a crisis, your time, energy, and focus is extremely limited. So how you use it, you need to be very, very careful with it. And if you want to get back to some type of normalcy by changing your routines, it starts by starting just with one habit, one action. If you could do that consistently for 3 to 4 weeks, then you can add another action or habit. But if you try to do too many things at once, you're going to overwhelm yourself, you're going to burn yourself out, and you're going to probably end up quitting. But for you to get back to some sense of normalcy, it's a daily grind, consistent action every single day until you can do it automatically. And then that becomes your habit. And then you work on another habit. But don't be scared that, okay, if I add a second habit and I'm struggling with that, well, let me go back to just one habit. It's okay. And then be consistent with that for a few more weeks, and then try that second habit again. But it's a daily grind, brick by brick, action by action, floor by floor, until you can change your routine and get back to some sense of normalcy. I'm going to close the show by saying this. I know I've given you a lot to think about, a lot to do, and you're already dealing with so much mentally and emotionally, so you can easily be overwhelmed. But if anything is going to change, it needs to be changed by you. Yes, you have friends. Yes, you have family. They're there to support you, but they're not there to do the work for you. You're going to have to do it yourself. And so you do not get overwhelmed. I want you to try it yourself and do these 3 things so that you can easily transition and change your daily routine to get back to some sense of normalcy. The number one thing, I want you to start your day early. Getting up during those quiet hours in the morning allows you to get time alone, number one, and gives you time to reflect and get your day started early. It is going to take you longer to get things done when you're dealing with crisis. Some of those basic things that you're doing before is going to take you a little bit longer. So getting up early gives you that extra time. The number 2 thing is you need to focus and change your environment with positive words. Focus on these positive words. This can be reading a book, listening to a sermon or a podcast, something positive that you can listen to change your mindset and get you charged up and built up and ready for the day. The number 3 thing is I want you to meditate. And what I mean by meditate in this instance is not sitting down and chanting and saying affirmations, but I need you to plan your day. Meditate and focus on what you have to do that day. And how are you going to respond if there is something that's unplanned for? If somebody gets on your nerves, how are you going to respond to that? If you don't find a parking spot, how are you going to respond to that? Think about those things so that you prepare for them and you're preparing for success. And I promise you, if you do these few things, you will get back to some sense of normalcy by changing your routine.
Good work today. You pushed yourself.
Thanks again for listening to Trying to Fit. I'm your host, Coach Glad, and we're going to continue this conversation on our Trying to Fit online community on Patreon. Join our community and get the support that you need to chase your fitness goals. Join us next week as we discuss the 5th step in the 5 steps to overcoming crisis. And if nobody has told you yet today, I love you, God bless you, and be unstoppable. Bye-bye.
Join the movement.